everybody, welcome back to the Claremont Classic Garage. How about we start off the May edition of Show and Tell. First up, we've got this 932 tractor tire that we got at the auction for like $5. These things are bloody impossible to find, and it is the right tire for 1939, 40, or 41 Ford 9Ns. Sometime after that, the 1028 became the standard tire on them, but the 932s were always optional. So we've got a couple of 9Ns around here that roll on 32s, and it's always good to have spare rubber kicking around. They don't even make these anymore. You have to get a 9.5 by 32. Now that may just be a newer version of it that's still actually the same size. I don't know, but I'm quite happy to have this. I actually have the exact match for this Goodyear tire outside, but it's in pretty grim shape. Also very hard to find are 32-inch rims for the Ford tractor. I got this at the same auction. It's a 32-inch rim. It is not a Ford tractor rim, but it's a 32-inch rim. So under the heading of any port in a storm, we can make this work to get us by if we had nothing else available at the time. It's in good shape anyway. Now we got some other Ford tractor parts. Here we've got a grill from 2N. It's in pretty decent shape. It needs a little straightening, but it's not nearly as bad as they usually are. And because it's pretty heavy steel and it's soft, like it's malleable, they're really easy to work with and straighten out. You can get this grill straightened right up in no time. We also got this battery door. It's in pretty bad shape, but we will salvage this. The latch, these things are always broken or screwed up in some other way. The rest of the door is pretty much junk. I got this air intake pipe. These things, again, at least on the tractors that I usually buy, they've been sitting around and they don't run. These things are always missing because guys, when they're trying to get them to run, they take this pipe off so they can get at the carburetor to squirt ether in it or whatever, and they never put the pipe back on, and it always gets separated from the tractor, and by the time I get it, I have to buy a new one, and I'll show you what I hate about that. The new ones are chrome and the damn paint don't stick to them. And we got three original. These are not replacement ones. These are original 9N stay bars. You need these on 9Ns, 2Ns, and Fergusons. Not so much on 8Ns because the 8Ns have position control. But on a 9N or a Ferguson, these are what you use to set the height of your drawbar so it stays put when you're doing drawbar work. And the last thing in this load, we've got a 9N toolbox. It's got the bracket on the back to attach to a cast aluminum or cast iron dash. This was a popular modification back in the day. The lid would only open so far and it would hit the hood. So the farmers would make a little bracket to lower it a couple of inches so they could swing the lid right open. And the best part of this is it's full of stuff, even a caterpillar. So we're going to dump all this crud out of here and see if there's anything we can actually use. So here's all the stuff we found in there. Nothing much useful at all. This one looks like it's still decent. That's a governor rod. So we can use that. I found one 8N running board bolt, a Ford tractor key, and some little bits and pieces. An inlet strainer for the carburetor with a big hole in it. So that's not going to do much straining. I got all this junk, and I got a big pile of dirt. Here's a couple of cool things that our friend Nick from the Real Guy Garage brought us down. This is a 1968 Ford and Mercury crash parts book. So it's got all your body shops would use these for doing estimates. So it'd be a quick lookup for them of the parts that we need. There's that's a Falcon station wagon, I think. So that's a great book. And even better is this 63 to 74 Ford interchange book. So you could look up in here, you know, you need a control arm for this. You're going to the wreckers. What else fits? This, you look up all that stuff in this book. These things are great. This is how everybody got by before the internet. And what I'm mostly impressed with this book is not what's in it, but what the hell kind of stapler did they use to put? I want one of them staplers, a stapler like that. You could staple plywood together with that. So, we got all this junk at the auction. One of these things, depending on what kind they are, you can love them or hate them. Some of them, they don't have the reinforcing strands in the band there. And when you go to use it, it just stretches, or either it breaks and you punch yourself in the face. We'll have to see what kind this one is. I've never ever had really much use for these things, but oh well, we've got one now. We got a nice Herbrand. Herbrand is good tools. 10-inch adjustable wrench. So we'll get that lubricated up and make sure it works nicely. Like it does work, it just needs freeing up. That's outstanding. Oh, look at this reamer. Oh dear, a bent reamer. That can just go probably straight in the scrap bin. A drill that doesn't turn. I don't know how much use that is. This is nice. This is an exhaust pipe cutter. It's a pipe cutter that you don't have to go around and around and around. You just get that on the pipe and you go back and forth like that and it cuts it. This is a handy tool to have. A few pairs of pliers we got. A nice pair of vice grips, needle nose. Again, we'll service it up. I bought this lot because I was thinking that this might be a Ford screwdriver. And I have to double check. We can measure the length of it. I think it's a little, even though it looks exactly like one, I believe it's a little large in scale to actually be one. It needs to be 8¼ inches long. And you can see that one's almost 11. But I mean, it looks the part. And the last couple of real ones that I've seen, real original ones that I've seen on eBay, have been selling for $70 and $80. So this will get me through if I'm just piecing together a toolkit for one of my machines. There's a couple of old wrenches here. Oh, snap ring plier, always handy. Needle nose pliers, lineman's plier, crowbar. This is an airbrush connector for a compressor. Very nice thing to have. And then that brings us to this thing, which I am not sure exactly what it is. Some kind of tile tool or something. No idea. Your guess is as good as mine. But now, this. So the other day, I was taking the lid off a 5-gallon pail. And that's what this tool is for. You work your way around it. And the handle busted off, and I just about punched myself in the face. So I went to the hardware store and got another one. Here it is. This is exactly the same as the one that broke and nearly killed me. And I don't know how easy it is for you to tell the difference between these two. This is an old school one, and this is a new school one. Look at this. Absolute piece of junk. This is got to weigh twice as much as that. There's twice as much raw material in this as that. And they were probably both the same price, except this was 15 years ago. Terrible. And then we got these things. I got the two of them for $20. These things are $29.99 each in the store. And it's not like they wear out. What this is made by Chestnut Tools, and it's a wrench extender. So what happens is you got some fastener that you can only get a wrench on, but the wrench isn't long enough. You got no leverage. That goes on there, and it goes on with magnets and extends your wrench. These are the greatest thing in the world. Don't go to the scrapyard without one of these. Now, I saved the best for last. As I scroll, as I'm watching the auction go by, if something interesting that has no bids at all comes up, I'll buy it for $1 or $2 just because you never know what you might get. So this thing came up and it said Black & Decker heavy duty drill. There were no bids. It had like 10 seconds left. So I bid $2 and I got it. This thing is a monster, like a monster. It's a 3/4 inch electric drill. It's probably 3/4 horsepower too. It's got this super duper heavy duty boring bit in it. That's for going through cement. And it is what? I think it's a 1.5. Yeah, 1.5 inch. So that'd be a guy doing gas lines or something would be using this to run the gas lines through cement walls. Lucky for me, I did find my bat universal chuck key actually has one element that fits this, so that's good. Anyway, we're going to plug this beast in and see what happens. The first thing I'm going to do is just plug it in and stand back and make sure no circuit breakers blow. The cord does look pretty sketchy, but we can put a new cord on it. It has a D handle on the back, this side handle here, and it has a provision to screw a piece of 3/4 pipe into the other side. I cannot imagine. It would be at least a two-person job to hold this thing to go horizontally through a wall. To go vertically down, maybe not so bad. Anyway, here's the trigger. Let's see what happens. Wow. It runs slow. So now on the back side of it, there's a toggle switch. I don't know if that's high and low or forward and reverse. Let's find out. Oh, it's forward and reverse. So now, it was probably something like this that they used to use to start Top Fuel dragsters or Indy cars or something. This thing is a monster. I bet if you could hold on to it, I could start my old crank starts tractors with it. But anyway, it is what it is. It's a beast. We will find some use for it around here. One day, I will need this for one job, and it will be worth every cent of the $2 that I paid for it. Here's something we got at the auction. We got all this wallpaper, and there's another kind of partial roll of some odd stuff under here for $10. So we're getting ready to redo our upstairs bathroom. We already redid the powder room downstairs, and we want to do the upper half of the wall with wallpaper. But wallpaper's really, the people don't carry it anymore, and we saw this at the auction, and it just seemed like kind of exactly what we wanted for that room. So that's good. $10. We got all of this stuff. Here's a vanity we got. We got this at the. We have this. We just take this with us to the home center when we're picking colors and stuff. So we got this at the Reuse It Center, brand spanking new. It was a floor model at a home improvement center or something. So then we went and we ordered a top for it. Well, this is going to be a really nice bathroom, but we're cheapskates, so we're taking our time. And as we find deals on stuff, we just put it away. Next thing we got from the auction is this here dog agility set. Apparently it works for kids too. But this is to keep our dogs' minds off digging holes and eating the house and stuff like that. So we're going to see what happens when we set this up over there in the paddock where they run and see if we can teach them to go through these obstacles. They may just end up eating them or fighting over them or trashing them in some other way. But we'll find out. Here's the last thing for the April edition of Show and Tell. We just been cleaning up and tidying up around here. We got a whole bunch of junk we don't need anymore. So we're going to take it up to the auction and see if anybody else wants this stuff. I always spend more at the auction than I make, but what the heck? It's just a big game, right? You rehome your junk, other people rehome their junk, and at the end we're all happy. What doesn't make me happy is 5 inches of snow on the 19th of April. Really. My tulips are coming up. Well, they're buried in snow now. unbelievable. It was kind of a freak thing. It snowed all night, and it snowed and snowed and snowed and snowed. Now this afternoon, we're supposed to get another windstorm. That'll be in the last 7 days around here. We've had like 3 dumps of snow, this one being the most significant, and 4 wind events. And this one today is probably going to be right up there with number 1 or number 2 of the 4. So that's why I was waiting maybe for the snow to dry up or to melt and the roads dry up a little bit before running this stuff up to the auction house. But with the windstorm coming this afternoon, I'd rather do it this morning. So that's what we'll do. Now, that is a cool truck. For a guy that hacks around like I do, that's like the ultimate utility vehicle. Look at that thing. You can do anything with that. Well, that'll do it for the April edition of Show and Tell. We got our big trailer load of stuff up to the auction, and while I was up there, I kind of had to snoop around at the stuff that other people have been bringing in. Oh, there's a lot of good stuff up there, so I'll probably be getting a few things up there to show you later. But that'll do it for this one. I'm going to take off now. I got lots to do around here, and I want to thank you for watching our video, and hope you'll tune in again to see what we're doing next time. And until then, thanks again, and so long from the Claremont Classic Garage.